been into anime, but I never had like a big obsession with Japan. So,
Right. Yeah.
I feel it's just, you're probably just like, we're, you know, exposed to a lot of Japanese like culture, right? Like, you know, like obviously the anime, but also like just the games and stuff like that. So I feel you kind of just like naturally.
I feel like everyone kind of.
Yeah.
Right. That's why there's a lot of curiosity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was there a point where you came to Japan and you're like, shit, I can see myself living
what
here,
was the tipping point?
Yeah, that was actually 4 years ago.
Right.
Something like that. We were here for a month. And after that, we were like, damn, we really don't want to go home. This is actually really good.
Was that the trip I met you on? Or was that
no,
the one
that was
after
that?
Yeah,
we used to come here every year. And
Yeah.
then, we had that. We stayed a little longer, like a month. And then we were just like, damn, it's actually really nice. So we had a meeting with people of like, oh, how's the visa going to go? And like, they were like a couple months. And then we're good. We're like, okay, great. So we were planning our wedding at the same time.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, let's keep, we're going to make this work. We're going to do it as fast as possible. And then, obviously COVID hit and
2 years.
Yeah, right. I think 3 years.
3 years.
Close to 3 years. Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not fun. But now I'm here. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. And no one else can enter still.
I was going to say, I was like, everyone probably thought that you just like did it on a whim. I feel like in some case on YouTube,
yeah,
they were like, "Why does he get to go in? I've been trying to go in for the past 2 years."
Maybe I don't know. Like, it took a long time, but we didn't really talk about it.
Yeah,
I was so fucking pissed off having to wait too, and I was just so mad. But I was trying to hold it in because I didn't want to be entitled about entering a country. But it was rough.
Yeah. Well, especially Japan, because people are very picky about it, and they're very like, not Japan.
Oh yeah, you have to deserve to come to Japan.
You can't just like anime and play Nintendo. You need to really enjoy
that's the problem. If you do only like anime and you want to go to Japan, it's like you're everything that's wrong with tourists that go to Japan.
We don't want you here.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is, like, you were waiting for 2 years to come in Japan. I think we were waiting 2 years to leave Japan.
That's why you took off.
First opportunity, we're like, all right, see ya, yeet.
No.
Yeah, but like now that we're back, like I've really missed a lot of like little things in Japan.
Oh god, yeah.
Like traveling out there. I can't imagine how it's been for you, just like experiencing just living here for the first time for the first 4 months. Has there been like any like different like little things that you've noticed living here that you've really enjoyed, and maybe some things that you haven't?
Well, there's a lot of fucking paperwork.
Welcome.
First time.
Someone understands the pain.
Yeah, but we got a taste of that before, obviously.
True.
Getting the visa, you kind of realize, Jesus Christ. I had to resubmit it 3 times as well because it kept expiring. And so it's like redo all the papers and...
Well, even like getting Edgar over sounded.
Oh my fucking god!
That sounded like even worse than getting you over.
Oh my god!
I mean, you had to rent out a fucking private jet for that.
Yeah, we did get end up. Yeah, so
it's a real alpha move, if I dare say.
I actually we thought about it quite early, like, okay, how can we make this easier to bring our dogs over, because it was such a hassle.
Yeah.
And then Marta proposed like getting a private jet. I was like, no fucking way I'm paying that. Like, why would I ever do that? That's so stupid. But then the whole process is so complicated. And then my dog,
make something easy.
My dog was 1 kilo overweight for all the airlines in the entire world. Like, I swear I've called every airline ever.
Right. Oh no.
There's one airline that was like, it's okay, but if people have a falcon on board, then you can't go.
A falcon?
Yeah, some like Eastern countries, they prioritize falcons on the flights. Like, what are these rules?
Like,
you wouldn't weigh a baby.
We go by the predator list. Whoever's on top gets first dibs. You know how it is. I mean, we put them in a pen. We see what happens.
We can let them in, but we can't control the food chain, you know?
If there's 2 chickens, we got to have a fight.
Survival of the fittest,
man. I'm not rolling the dice on the falcon.
I like how they're just like, falcon's pretty sick, though. I mean, falcons are like...
Like, I was specifically a falcon out of everything.
No other predator.
How many people are transporting falcons out there in the world?
They have a lot of falcons. Oh. But so we didn't risk that. And then my dog was 1 kilo too fat. And we had already dieted him once. So he was really slim and ready for the flight. But then obviously everything got delayed.
Was Was there a part of you that didn't want to tell YouTube that you got a private jet? Because you didn't want to deal with people being like, why did you get a private jet so out of touch?
Yeah, well,
because people I feel are still a little bit weird about that. You know, being like, oh, he's just trying to flex
it's like,
his wealth.
How much do you have to pretend like you don't have money?
I just,
you know what I mean? Like,
I just don't like the whole like for the environmental reasons. I guess that felt a little bit shitty, but I felt like we had a decent.
I mean, you're not Elon Musk taking a 9-minute jet ride, so I feel like that's you took one of the longest possible rides you could have. I'm not trying to justify it for you.
It was a good purchase.
I mean, investment, quite frankly. I mean,
it was pretty cool.
I mean, I will. For the dogs, I would do exactly the same.
Yeah.
For
dogs,
the dogs,
yeah.
okay.
The dogs.
Like, I'll allow it. You know?
They're basically children at this
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's like, I'd do it for my kids. Fuck
Fair
it.
enough. Yeah,
I wouldn't do it for my kids.
Oh, really?
Dog though, maybe.
I would say I'd be doing it for my. I would say I would do it for my kids, but actually it would just be for me.
Yeah. True.
The tier list goes falcon, dog, and then kid.
No. But kids are so prioritized. You wouldn't wait. Like the dog has to weigh a certain amount of kilos.
Yeah.
My dog was too fat. That's why we had to take.
But the kid can.
But you don't weigh. You don't weigh a child. You're like, hold up. How much does that child weigh? That's not happening. So why the dog?
Sure, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that because I've never had to transport animals, thankfully.
What about like
sucks.
allergies and stuff? Any other?
It's not my fault.
What
The
if like,
problem?
I have a kid allergy. No kids on this flight. No kids, please.
Most people would prefer to sit next to a dog than a child.
I would 100%.
I would 100%.
If that was an option in my flight, I would tick that every time.
Crying baby versus dog? Of course I'm going to pick the dog every time, you know?
Definitely.
Very true.
I mean, I'm sure we've all had enough experience with flights where there's just that one kid that just.
Oh my god.
Well, like the babies, I can understand because they're babies.
They can't control
They
it,
can't control.
right.
But sometimes when there are some kids that are like 3 or 4, and their parents just like let them do whatever they want.
Oh my god.
That's the ones that really like grind my gears. You know?
I don't think kids should be in business class. I don't think they've earned it. You know, I just don't.
Who puts their kids in business class?
I
parents.
went on the business class and there's 2 kids had their own seat and I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if I was a billionaire, I'm putting my kid in the worst economy seat, the least right. He's not going to appreciate the business when he gets it.
They won't.
Business for my children.
The kid is not going to appreciate it.
No, of course
why would
not.
you? I don't care how rich you are.
Or
You
either
should
that, or the kid's gonna get used to it, and then
Yeah,
be
I
like,
don't-
"Wow, you got the small seats like a fucking peasant."
But when you're a kid, just going on a flight is fun enough.
Yeah, you won't care.
exactly.
Like, you just give that kid a Game Boy. That's not appropriate for the times. give him a Nokia. Give him anything, and he'll be fine.
Give them a phone, you know?
Anything that runs Minecraft, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because we're getting to the point now where Wi-Fi is starting to be used on flights, and to me, that's so alien, and I don't like it. I like being,
But it's always so shit.
huh?
Yeah, it's so
slow.
shit
Yeah,
that you
it's
give
never
up.
worth it.
It is shit. But I think we'll get to the point where it's going to
Yeah, you're right.
become usable, where you can
Gigabit
stream
speed,
videos.
yeah.
And at that point, I'm like, I kind of like going on a flight and just feeling like you're completely disconnected. And I'm going to be that old guy who was like, things were better when you couldn't use internet on flights.
Yeah,
Also, I remember downloading the entire library of Netflix on my phone so I can not watch it.
I feel like there's like gonna be some level of like nostalgia to it as well because it's a very like novel thing, where it's
Yeah.
like the airplane movie experience.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna be that generation. It's like back in our day, we had to look at a Jason Statham film for this small.
do you guys remember when they changed the rules so that you can finally fucking use your whatever electronic device during takeoff and landing?
yeah.
Like, because you had to turn it off
When did they change it?
when airplane mode was invented on like
No,
smartphones,
it was
right?
not that long ago.
Really?
Yeah.
pretty recent.
Yeah. And it was
Really?
like the greatest change of all time. Because every time it's
there's
like,
extra
why?
minutes.
Why do I have to put it away?
Yeah,
Or
true.
even some like flights, they still like make you put it away, or they still announce that you're not allowed to use it.
What the fuck? How dare they?
Yeah, and then and then nobody just listens, basically.
Yeah, then like I'd be on my phone and then like a stewardess will walk up to me and be like, "Oh, excuse me, you have to put
That
your phone
hasn't
away."
happened to me in
my
like forever.
It happened to me once. She was like,
What?
"You have to put your phone
They
away."
still do that?
And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And I put it in my pocket. She walked off and I just pulled my phone back out.
as anyone
What a
would do.
savage.
Yeah, because you say then you're still like on your honeymoon phase in Japan, or is the reality kind of slowly starting to sink?
The reality.
The
of what?
reality.
What is the reality,
Well, the
Joey?
reality of like Japan is cool, but it's not like a.
Woe is me.
utopia.
You have to surf every week. Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, we kept thinking it would. I think we actually had a different sort of experience where the first month we were like, oh shit, we actually like
Made it.
reset everything.
Yeah.
And now we kind of have a lot of shit to do to kind of get
There's
back
always
to where we
something
were.
you gotta
Yeah.
fill in.
Yeah, and there was a lot, and it kind of stressed me out a bit. I was like, oh damn, that's actually not like
It's not fun.
it's not just like a roller coaster right away.
Yeah.
I think we just settle in more and more and more, and now we've been here 4 months, so we still really enjoy it. Yeah, it's really fun.
That's good.
But I do think, I mean, obviously, like, yeah, I don't know.
Because I remember when you finally announced that you and Marty were gonna be moving here.
Yeah.
And just like on your videos, just the amount of comments you probably got of like, well, Japan's not that great of a country. Do you know all of these statistics and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
'Cause
people are weird about Japan. Yeah,
Yeah,
they are, they
Yeah,
are.
they're really weird.
And it's like only Japan, I feel. Because like if you were like, oh, I'm moving to, you know, the UK, people won't be like, well, did you know all these stats in the UK? It's like, why is it only Japan that is like put up on this like golden platter of standards?
People either idolize it or they hate it.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It does feel like, especially on the internet, I don't know if it's just on the internet or with like everyone, but people like Japan has like this really weird image of just being like things that come from Japan are very like
Also, it's that meme of that guy being like, thing from Japan. Whoa. That's like, and that's
But it's so true then.
Yeah.
but like, 50% of the time, it's pretty fucking right. Like, I mean, there are a lot of things you're like, actually, this is pretty fucking sick. And other times you're like, yeah, it's a little overrated. Like, I don't know, like when you see videos of like, did you guys know they still use fax machines? It's like, all right, okay. All right, thanks for that. I mean, yeah, cool. I get it.
It's not gonna make money.